You're listening to Errol Parker and Clancy Overall, editors of the Batuta Advocate, on Desert Rock FM.
Well, here we are in Baxter Boot Studios now, downtown Batuta. Clancy Overall, editor speaking, joined by editor-at-large Errol Parker. Two guests in the building today. They've made the trip out. Very kind of them. Two NRL legends, NRL journeymen, and also arguably two of the first good-looking men to play rugby league professionally.
Just one. Reni.
Reni Maitua, Willie Mason. How are you guys?
Good, thanks.
Yeah,
How you guys?
Good,
Wonderful.
mate.
Thanks for having us.
Now, Rennie's going on TV a bit later. He's behaving himself, but Willie's walked in here with some...
Gordon's Premium Pink Gin and Soda.
That's special. For sure.
That was
Right,
a
yeah.
massive night last night. I was Origin night.
Yeah?
The Coopers that you guys are drinking doesn't go down well.
Bit heavy
Yeah.
for you. Now, we...
Very manly drink.
What do you do of an evening now that you're not playing? When a big match is on, what do you guys do?
When a big match is on, like
Yeah.
you say last night, I had to go I went to the Ivy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was all right for a promotion, and
They've got a great sports bar there, don't they?
yeah, an awesome sports bar. I was on level 5. They had one TV and about 100 people in the room, so it was a bit weird. And I did
Probably
a bit
the
of
only time you've been allowed in.
it is the only time we were allowed in.
It's almost...
We got bar there for 10 years, so
yeah.
it was good actually. I said, I have to go to level 5. When I got in, I go, no, it's not open. 6:30. I'm like, mate, it's fucking 6:29. Wow, who cares? Just let me in.
Well, thanks, Justin Hems, for finally coming through on that one. Now, what's going on for work, guys? I mean, Reni, you're on Fox, and you're from Maroubra initially, so I imagine you're laying carpet somewhere.
There's plenty of carpet layers down the beach. No, I'm doing cabinetry. Yeah, I'm building in the factory and then going out and installing. So when I got back from the UK and Canada, I was looking for something to do, and a mate of mine owns a company, Arc Joinery, and I just went along and gave it a try, and 7 months later I'm still there, and I'm about to start an apprenticeship. So it's something that's rewarding, and one of the regrets I had while I was playing footy is I didn't have any qualifications. So, you know, if I ever want to leave Sydney or move somewhere else, at least I'll have a qualification behind me. As you mentioned, I'm doing a little bit of stuff with Fox, a couple of shows a fortnight, which is fun. You know, I've never watched so much rugby league the last sort of couple of months.
Got that KO app.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think I could get back into the game. It took me a while once I retired to even enjoy it. And now that I've understood who the new players are and what's going on with the game, I'm enjoying it again. And
You can slip into that legend role.
yeah, well, hardly a legend, but it's been fun. It's been fun. It's hard. It's a lot of preparation. You probably don't get paid enough for the amount of preparation you have to do, but you get found out pretty quickly. It's an opportunity. That's what I'm grateful for. So we'll see what happens beyond this year.
Now, one player that would openly refer to himself as a legend is sitting next to you. Willie, what are you getting up to nowadays?
Yeah, I'm all right. I mean, I played the game for so long,
Yeah.
you know, and had some good people around me. Sort of like I can sit and pick and choose what I want at the moment. I do my own show, like Unfiltered, on it's a bit of a podcast sort of show, whatever slash sort of whatever bullshit it is. That's a bit of fun, which gives my own platform to say whatever I want, pretty much. Like, I mean, I could have
Unfiltered.
easily slipped into the Fox Sports, Channel 9 bullshit, but I just don't think I'm not like that. I'm not built like that.
You're a bit
because
brash, maybe?
I just don't want to fucking say what they say. Like, it's awful, like how they get put in this sort of box and they get tell you what to say. And I've never been like that.
Yeah.
You know, if you
So
follow my
you-
career, you know what I'm like. I'm
You're not really a company man, really.
No, I'm not a conformist, really. I'm not going to say whatever, like if you actually watch a game and then turn the commentary off, you'll actually look at the game differently. You turn the commentary on, it's just a load of shit. Like, have a look what happened on the weekend. It was 4 of the lowest fucking games I've ever seen in my life. But they commentate on it. It's like, oh, they have to, obviously have to build the game up. Just like, God damn it. Like, just don't play. Like, I think Origin should be like a standalone game. It rates the highest out of like anyone, out of all our sports during the year. Rates the highest. But we still have to have these players back up on the weekend.
Yeah.
Like, you want to pay these players, like, they should be getting paid $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
You have a look at the revenue they make. They make over $60 million.
Yeah, well, that's half.
You know what I mean?
the
Like, and
reason
it's not even fucking 5% of what they make the players get. And everyone's like, oh, they're getting overpaid, blah blah blah. It's like, no, they're not getting paid enough.
Yeah.
Take a stance and go, you know what? give us at least 10% of the revenue.
Was there a players' union getting around when you guys were playing? Was there?
It was the lowest ever.
Yeah, I think
No one gave a fuck about us. Seriously, like it was so funny. Like seriously, it was like no one cared. And nobody was on board. The RLPA now, Clint Newton. Shout out to Clint Newton, doing a great job, doing it all for the players, and I'm all for that. You know, our era. But like when we were playing, no one gives a shit. It was like just get on there, get off, do your job.
Got
no
a problem? Go
shit.
talk to Coda NASA.
Yeah.
Go get a fight.
Get a just get a release. You got an issue, just get a release. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Now you both had a dabble at boxing.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
seems to be the trend for retired footy players.
Well, short of opening an F45 gym, you
I love that post. That was genius, that post. I thought these guys are referring to me.
I think we all get a little. Is he talking about us? Is Batuta's on me or what?
how did that translate? Was that just something? It's always been rugby league and boxing kind of went hand in hand for 100 years.
It's combative sport, isn't it?
Yeah.
I had a couple of fights when I was playing. I wouldn't fight now. Like credit to Reni, like he retired. Mm-hmm. And then had to focus again. Like training is fucking ridiculous. It's too hard. I don't have the mindset and the I just don't want to do it. I actually just don't want to do it. It's too hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I got punched in the head enough. I got hit in the head enough for like 17 years. I'm not going to do it. But like Reni like stepped in the ring and had to train. I was with him. I was just like far out. Like credit, like commitment. I don't have the commitment. That's the word.
You smashed that bloke you fought the other day, didn't you?
Which guy?
Just
Justin
before you took
Hodges.
off to Toronto. Your opening bout? Your
Yeah,
first,
yeah, Monies. Look, I got stopped in the second round. The guy was from Revesby.
Bloke was a dog.
Yeah.
Plumber.
He's all right.
Ren beat the fuck out of me. I was there. It was unreal. It was full of piss. It was fucking great.
I was actually
It was like he had some income protection too.
I was
Otherwise,
just like, if I get hit in the head more than once,
Yeah.
it's time out.
just don't break my fucking hands. Just
Well, I actually sparred him 6 weeks before it, and he's an experienced boxer. He's a little bit older, but he knows his way around the ring, and he kept leaning on me, and I blew out real quick. So it made me a little bit more anxious when I was getting into the ring to box him, especially when they made me main event. That was like the week before your main event.
Ren went from
Just being on
like
the undercard.
on the undercard, like third or maybe the pre to main event. It's like, so I was around the whole time. I was like, you guys. I'm fucking main event now. I'm main event.
It was just a box I had to tick. You know, I've loved boxing my whole life, and I love watching the UFC. And I just had to make that walk once. I would never do it again. The training was too hard. 8 weeks of torture with Billy Hussein, who's probably arguably one of the best Australian trainers. He didn't treat me like a footy player. Once I got in the gym, I had to train like the rest of the boxers and. Mate, the training and the anxiety you build up, especially when you're sparring and you got everyone in the gym filming, it was, it wasn't a great feeling, but probably the easiest thing was the fight night after going through all that. And it was an experience that I'll never forget. And, I'm glad I did it once and I don't have to do it again. Maybe to call out Hodjo.
Fuck no. Let's get that undercard.
I'll bet Hodjo one arm.
Timmy Sue's new fight. Next fight, we'll get you guys on the undercard, eh? Shout out No Limit Promotions. You can organise that.
Great fight nights, guys.
Now, we were talking, obviously watching the match last night at the Lord Kidman Hotel in Batuta. You guys were probably of the first generation, a new wave of NRL player. NRL historically had always been like guys that look like Tommy Raudonikis, long-haired. You guys kind of came through a big wave of Polynesian footballers. Yeah. And also, the grooming started to change around the time you guys were playing. Everyone had a fade. You've got a nice fade right now, by the way, Willie.
Thank you.
Didn't need to get that for a podcast. So it's a podcast. We'll get a photo at the end of it.
You're bang on. There was myself, Willie Tonga, Sonny Bill, and especially if you played a Friday night, you had to go to get a haircut. You had to go get
I'm not involved in that. No, this guy used to get a haircut every fucking Friday. Seriously, I wasn't about that life because
you had an afro, mate.
Yeah, people didn't know. He's got beautiful hair.
Yeah,
and so does Sonny and Willie Tong and all these sort of guys. But I got like an afro sort of thing. And there was no barbers in the mid 2000s.
Yeah, not in Toronto.
Not in Toronto West. So even in Belmore, you go around now anywhere. There's barbers. They can fade you up. They can do whatever. But obviously going back to the Polynesian thing, I come up a little bit before Ren, and you have a look at the late 90s, sort of early 90s. There was hardly, you could name on one hand the Polynesian players. So I was part of that first sort of wave like a lot of Polynesian players, like the Joe Nullavows, the Tony Pulatuas and stuff like. I mean, Solomon Hamano and John Hopewadi sort of led the way, but yeah, there was a really big influx of like Polynesian in the early 2000s, and then when Sonny, Ren, Willie Tonga, Matt Utai, that's just in the Bulldogs, and then you go through every side, probably about 3 or 4. Wasn't too many. Now you have a look at the
70% in juniors, isn't it?
It's 77% in juniors, but like you go through the NRL list, it's like 45, 50% Polynesian. If you go to Indigenous, it's like pretty much 55, 60%. Yeah. So the game is dominated by Polynesians, and because we're like probably the third generation over here, and we're built for this sport. There's nothing. We're not going to be fucking cricket players. Yeah. You know what I mean? We're not going to be golfers. We're not going to be golfers. There's only one Tongan golfer out there.
Well, Vijay Singh.
There's one Fijian and a Tongan out there. They're in top 20. But like, we're not going to be golfers. We're not going to be tennis players. We're built for contact sport. You know, like we're all genetically built for this game. Like, and I'm so proud to be a Polynesian and proud to see the influx of players come through now. And like, people want to be like us. You know, like when I was young, I was just like, oh man, I want to be like Bradley Clyde and, you know, all those sort of players that were like my sort of idols, but they weren't Polynesian. Yeah. Now these young kids are going, I want to be Sonny Bill, I want to be Willie Mason, I want to be Israel Folau, I want to be like all these sort of guys that we've paved the way for these young kids. Now the world's their oyster, so they can build their own sort of legacy. So the door's open. We knocked the fucking door down.
With the 2004 premiership, obviously.
Yeah. But it's like, and that's but every club. You go to every club. You go to every club, and there's a massive like Polynesian sort of influence there.
Obviously, you were the first African American to play in the NRL after Greg Smith's brief little stint at Newcastle.
He fucking bullshitted his way onto an NRL roster.
That is one of the
greatest stories
all-time
ever.
NRL yarns ever.
Mate, he rocked up the train, and Joey said he rocked up the train and said, "Look, I'm an NFL like superstar." Back then,
no internet.
No one gave a shit. Everyone did, like, he's big. African American, fast. All right, give him a run. Sat on the wing. Chook Halligan dusted him up. I remember in '98, I was at the Bulldogs and he played the night. We played the Knights, and this is how fucked up he was. Chook dusted him up. Chook, I could beat Chook in a race. No disrespect, Chook. But yeah. So Chook Halligan dusted him up, but he fought his way on an NRL.
He just walked in. Who was it? Warren Ryan walked in and just
this
said,
guy's the next best thing.
And the best thing about it was that like it couldn't have gone worse. They put Tamana Tahu on the bench for this guy.
Yeah.
I went this far.
I was playing Jersey Flag. I was playing under 19s at a home bush, and everyone's like, "Oh, Greg Smith." This is '98, Ren. And this guy's this black American come out like NFL superstar, blah blah. Everyone thought he was like Terrell Owens or some shit like Randy Moss. Nah. Absolutely retarded. Like, couldn't catch, couldn't play, got smoked by the chook. Oh, it was hilarious.
He could run though.
Yeah, well, fuck, getting some space first.
A lot of space.
Learn how to catch.
He had no idea.
He ran out. There's on YouTube. There's highlights.
Out. Like receiving from fucking Eli Manning, bang, ran out.
So he only played one game, surely.
Done.
One game.
Done.
Yeah.
And then they sent him out to
You don't
Wyong.
remember that, Ren?
I think
It's fucking hilarious.
he took Wyong Roos to a premiership. That was he's a legend out that
Him
way.
and Ogre.
Now, do you think, as you were saying before, like, you know, we just look at the match last night, Tedesco, you know, you got Napa, you got all these different people from different backgrounds. Do you think that's why the anthem thing hasn't really struck a chord in the NRL? Because
to be honest,
it would have in the AFL if someone had said that and done something like what happened last night in the AFL.
it's not very. I mean, I think AFL is very multicultural, but like, I respect whatever Josh Addo-Carr and Cody Walker's like standing up for. Like, fuck, I mean, our national anthem sucks pretty much. Like, it doesn't mean shit. Honestly, like I sing it. I will sing it every single time. Like it's getting played. But it doesn't hit me in the heart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when I hear New Zealand anthem.
Yeah.
When I hear the Pommy anthem, the Americans, like, fuck, it's really, you can feel like how they sing it with like, they get so patriotic about it. I'm like, yeah, the words actually mean something. Like Gert by Sea and shit. I don't even know what the fuck that means. What does it mean? Are we like?
You feel like Rolf Harris is about to come out with a wobble board.
Yeah, it's like, and like I spoke to a lot of people. A lot of people won't say this. It's just like, oh yeah. So I don't even know that. I don't really understand the words to our anthem.
Yeah.
You know, I'm all for it. I'll sing it all the time because, especially when I play for Australian stuff, like it means a lot. Reni, you could say the same thing, but I can understand like what Josh Adokar and all the boys like didn't care, and then you see it from a different perspective. Justin Hodges, I sing it because his family was in the army.
Yeah.
So it means something like that. It means something to me because my dad was an Aussie, so it means something to me. So, but I can understand why people don't sing it. It's just like, well, if it doesn't mean that much to you, just don't sing. There's been so many anthems and so many teams have played it.
That seems to be the consensus in the NRL. No one's really kind of making a fuss of this thing. It's just...
No one gives a fuck. Honestly, there's like a little minority that's always going to give a fuck.
It's only been the official anthem since like 1984 or
and everyone's gone, oh, you're disrespecting history. Yeah, since what 35 years?
Yeah. It's
like you fucking idiots. Get educated first before you say something. There's a lot of people that like comment. Everyone's got their right in like social media and all this sort of shit. We love it, but we hate it. Like we wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for social media. It connects people, but it disconnects people.
Do you guys kind of thankful that you didn't have social media when you were playing?
Thank God. Far out. We wouldn't be sitting here today. We'd be behind bars
like
somewhere.
there's at the start of the season, I mean, all like just fucking week after week was just a video here, a text message there. It was just a constant ream of all this stuff that's come out of social media.
Oh, I'm glad it wasn't around when we started. It
wasn't like we were doing dumb shit.
No,
but I mean, like we had a great time in our career, but like the shit that went on, I'm like, like in this off season.
Like even we were shocked.
The whole careers we've had takes a lot to shock us. So I'm just like, what the fuck are these guys doing?
Yeah, you know, like every time we've asked anyone that, everyone has always said, "No, thank God, it wasn't there." Even people who are in the Wallabies, there are people who are that tame, who were like, "Oh, I don't want them to see me having a schooner of port at the pub after we've beaten the Poms in England." You know.
I think what happens with rugby league now, we're a reflection of society at its worst, at its maximum. Because what's happening in society, if you have a look at the average 25-year-old phone, you don't really want to look at it. You know what I mean? There's going to be some fucking bullshit on that phone.
Yeah.
But these football players now and like WhatsApp groups and all this sort of shit. Like being in WhatsApp groups. You've been in WhatsApp groups, friends. It's like, there's a limit to shit.
Yeah.
In Newcastle, for instance, like Kurt Keeley, myself, Jeremy Smith, Bo Scott, we're leaders running it. So you couldn't post shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, or get it down. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you've got young boys, you know, we have a young squad there that respected the fact. It's like, don't fuck around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think it's a reflection on the leadership group in teams. It's like, you don't stand for that shit. It's like, get that down, take that down, delete that video. Especially if it's like that. And I'm talking about videos about like, you know, blokes being out in the piss and just having a good time or whatever and maybe, oh, this bird's good looking bird. Who gives a fuck? Take it down anyway.
Yeah.
Let alone the shit that just went down. I'm like, I was just sitting there, I was just around, I was like, another video? Like, we're sitting there going, another video? Like, when we get the mail first. We're weeks before everyone else. We're like, fuck, this is going to come out. And there's way more out there that hasn't come out.
Yeah, I'm sure
there's a lot of people that could be fucked up, and that's hilarious. And that's hilarious because I know all the players. I'd never name anyone.
You know who's sweating?
Fault. No, I don't think obviously they're not sweating now, but like at the time I was Reni and I were talking. I was like, damn, this comes out. This night's fucked.
Have a few more of those pink G&Ts, mate. We'll get some names out of you.
Drink up.
I've heard now that there are clubs that are taking out insurance against this now, where you can...
Pandora's box has been opened.
I wouldn't be surprised with the amount of revenue that goes into clubs now, sponsorships. It's just they're in damage control, you know. And with the WhatsApp groups, for example, I felt like at the back end of my career that the younger guys were filtering out the senior players, so they obviously didn't have enough respect for the captain or something
You
to put
didn't have a
something like
strong
that in
enough
the group.
leadership group, Ren.
Well, that's what I'm saying, and that.
Oh, so you'd think the old heads wouldn't even be in on it?
Well, not really. No,
No,
it was all the sort of young guys. But
All the kids.
Yeah.
what I feel like that culture in rugby league is that it's tribalism. It's been accepted. So putting up that video for your teammates is that way of being accepted by your peers, showing off.
Yeah.
And that's probably one of the bad cultures that we've got within our game, especially within the dressing room of rugby league. But given what went on over in the off season, it had to stop, and I'm sure it's stopped now.
Doesn't it contextualises some of the bullshit that you guys got in trouble for? Like, Willie Mason taking a piss out from the RSL.
Yeah,
I mean,
and the worst person that ever played a game. Fuck me.
or everyone's been caught public urination, or like even Mitchell Pearce
Twice, but
gyrating on a puppy. It's like he had to fucking apologise and leave the country and was suspended from his club. It's like, guys,
he had to go to rehab.
Yeah, that's not that bad.
Yeah.
Not for the dog.
In the scheme of it, you think it's not that bad, but like with the public perception and the way society is now, it's unfortunate, but it's the way it is.
Yeah,
And you got to like evolve with society.
Yeah.
You got to evolve with the game. You got to evolve with society. It's like Ren and I come through the like. He was a bit after me, but it was the same sort of society didn't change until 2008 and 9. Like, I didn't know what Instagram was until Ren told me.
Well, he was an early influencer.
He was he's a public influencer model.
I'm a blogger.
You're
Early adopter.
public figure / model influencer. That's what he has on his thing.
We use his haircut for a story.
/foot model. But
it's just
we come through the same era. So Ren was I'm a couple of years older than him. I come through before him, but it didn't change. For fucking 8 years. We were the same. We used to go out, we used to drink piss, we used to play hard, we used to party hard, we used to do everything. We used to win, but we used to win.
That helps.
It does help because when you win, everything that you do off the field, who cares?
Newcastle,
it must be
97,
working. It must be.
don't worry about that. We'll look after that.
It must be working. So your coach turns a blind eye. So they slip off the.
So it comes part of the.
It's the culture of a club.
Yeah.
It's a culture of like
the winning culture.
It's the coach.
Yeah.
I think the coach has the biggest influence on players. Personally, like I've been around. Like just say Steve Folkes was my coach for 10 or 12 years, and we had our run-ins.
Yeah.
But it was because he wasn't used to a person or a character like me that was questioning shit.
Yeah.
Because I was part of that new sort of era where I wasn't that.
You're a cocky little millennial.
Yeah, I was fucking never a millennial, but I wasn't the 5'8" fat little fucking stocky front rower.
Yeah.
6 foot fucking 520 kilos.
And I got wheels.
Can run like a motherfucker. Footwork like fucking two of us a check. Check this shit, folksy. R.I.P. But that's the thing. Like, so he wasn't used to my like just I don't know, brash or cockiness or whatever. But like, I was there by myself for a couple of years until these guys come up, and it was the same sort of swag. It was like, fuck, like this, we're going to take over. It was a different sort of mentality. I sort of paved the way. So all these young kids come up, started hanging with me. Yeah. And it's the only reason why we won a fucking comp.
Yeah.
And we built that dynasty because these young kids.
Detroit bad boys.
Yeah, exactly. So we did not give a fuck because we used to beat the shit out of people for fun.
Siege
Legally.
mentality.
Yeah.
It was like, and the bullshit that went through in 2004, all this sort of stuff, you know what I mean? Like the Coffs Harbour bullshit, it's like, it galvanised everyone.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But like guys like Ren, Sonny, Reni Maitua, like Matt, like Utah was there for like 2002, but we would never have won a comp.
Yeah.
We had guys like Jamie Feeney, Dennis Scott, all these sort of guys. It was like great clubmen. Good
Were you all
club
living out there?
players.
Were you living in Bankstown,
Fuck
Belmore?
no. We're in the fucking eastern suburbs, bro. hey.
Carpool.
Toronto West boy fucking, in the eastern suburbs. What a goddamn
So you guys are
oxymoron.
You guys are both from very violent coastal hometowns. And
Yeah, Toronto West is.
yeah, when
No, Maroubra ain't.
when you came up, particularly, there was a lot of eyes on where you were from. Obviously, Russell Crowe and did that documentary, and then you all of a sudden it made it sound like there was some sort of mafioso element to Maroubra, and there was people getting. I guess you would have been the godfather in the scheme of
Nah,
things.
and I was still fairly young. I mean, Kobe was probably the face of the whole thing. He was doing quite well on the surfing tour. Growing up in Maroubra, you have a few characters amongst you that obviously give a bad name to the rest of the beach, and there was a few incidents growing up. But, I come from a good family. My immediate circle of friends, they're all really good guys, come from good families, earn good money. So, unfortunately, we get tagged with the same brush as some of the ones that get in trouble.
Every single person that grew up in the area.
Exactly. So I can't speak highly enough of my immediate mates and the blokes that, play up in that. Well, that's their business.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, I've got the same tattoo as them, but which is a pain in the ass sometimes, It's one thing about growing up in Maroubra was my parents always knew where I was.
Yeah.
I was always at the beach. I wasn't out stealing cars or getting up to no good or anything like that. What it did, though, when I was arrested in 2004, once I started playing first grade,
Started hanging around me. Just say
I didn't
it.
get arrested until I started playing first
Fuck
grade.
off.
For an incident that happened in 2002, which
Yeah.
was,
Yeah.
Bra Boys, which I was later acquitted of. But I've always had that sort of. I'm going to have that tag now. I'm always Reni Maitua, the Bra Boy, even though I don't associate myself as much with the beach anymore. I surf down there. I live down there.
You don't lay carpet. You're
don't
not
lay
a UFC
carpet.
fighter.
Not a UFC fighter.
You're not down at Owls.
Nah,
You
definitely
can
not.
surf,
that.
but
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
one thing I always forget. I mean, I'm not built for surfing, obviously, but this little
Big
fucking
Mal? You'd be right on a big Mal.
No.
Mate, it's an Hawaiian sport. It was made by Islanders.
This guy's like, I don't know,
Invented by Islanders, really.
in his prime. He looks good now.
John
but
Sutton's the man.
He's like, it's like Sutto. Like he's big. He's 105-6 kilos.
Sutton,
Sutto, he's 100. He's probably
he'd be-
100 kilo. Motherfuckers
Big boy,
can
Sutton.
move.
Yeah.
He'd be
right.
the best surfer in the NRL, Sutton.
Mark,
Really?
Mark
He
Gasnier
surfs
thinks
good.
he's like a
Mark
awesome
Gasnier's good.
just because he's got blonde hair and a long neck.
Gasnier.
Gasney surfs
Who do you
good.
reckon's got a longer neck? Him or DCE?
The longest neck in the NRL,
He's
sir.
a small head or long neck.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I think it's
It's
a bit
both.
of both.
Yeah.
DCE's got that real cotton bud look to him, though, doesn't he? Like, yeah. Now, you were saying before, in terms of, the anthem and the representative honours, it's so clear that in Australia, or in rugby league, one of the biggest comps is Origin, and you can forget kind of Melbourne and any other grassroots states. But you guys were kind of pioneers, I guess, of Tonga, Samoa, and this thing growing up. And becoming, quite a televised event at least.
I think Ren could speak on this more, but like, I'm so proud of being Polynesian. I represented Tonga when I was 19 in the World Cup in 2000, and back then it wasn't a big deal. As I was saying, like that I was part of that first wave to come through, probably the second wave, but it was really important to me to play because my mum's half Samoan, half Tongan.
Yeah, right.
But my dad was Australian.
Yeah, right.
Obviously, at that stage, I wasn't ready to play for Australia. I was still new on the scene. I only played 10 games at NRL.
Yeah, right.
And then I represented Australia when I was 21 for 8 or 9 years. So the game, and still then when I was playing in the international scene, Tonga wasn't strong, Samoa wasn't strong. Even though we had all these players, when you look through New Zealand and Australia, like I remember playing in a Aussie team, and like, God damn, it was like myself. There was about 4 or 5 Tongans in there, and about like 2 or 3 Samoans and a Fijian. Like it was like, and then I look at New Zealand. It was like there was a lot of Samoan brothers and Tongan brothers and stuff like that. And then the last 5 years, 6 years, maybe longer.
Well,
I keep
always
forgetting what fucking year it is.
Yeah.
But like, so when like Ren, like 2013, you played in the World Cup.
Yeah, that was the first year.
And that was massive. Like I was going to play in the World Cup.
Was this during little mini dread cornrows, Ren? That you were
Oh,
playing?
he had a beautiful little haircut,
that
didn't he?
was 214. That was
No, but the thing is, he started the wave.
Yeah.
And it meant something. Then obviously it's gotten to a next level when Taumalolo and Fafita and all these sort of brothers like went, I'm playing for Tonga.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And the game's gone from here. But it started around about 2013 World Cup.
And now it's a thing. Like there's a match coming up, obviously Fiji versus Lebanon, which sounds like it'll be sensational. But that's opening for
Hazem El Masri's captain coach.
He's still playing.
Shout out to Haz, you little fat nugget.
Yeah. Well, he was living out there. He wasn't living in the eastern suburbs when you guys were playing.
He was right. He's at Coalface. Oh, the shit I could say, I can't. It was only 2001.
Now there was originally back before 2013. Players played for their Polynesian culture at the end of their career.
Yeah, right.
So they had good sides, but they were just a little bit too old. And 2013, sort of coming to the back end of my career in late 20s, I got an opportunity. I knew I couldn't play for Australia again, so I thought, why don't I represent my culture and, where my father's from and learn a bit about it. I'm Sydney born. I don't know much about the culture. I don't speak the language. I don't know if I had a direct influence, but then I spoke to Frank Pritchard and Sam Cassiano. I told them, get on board. Things are changing within the within the Samoan team. Then they came in 2014, and then it's been a real. And then Tonga with Taumalola, and everyone's
before
playing.
that, it was like that test that you played around about the Anzac test. It was always that year, like the Samoa versus
We
Tonga,
played against
out
Fiji.
Campbelltown, all that sort of shit. That sort of set the whole scene because, Ren put his hand up, Frankie Pritchard put their hands up. They started defecting from New Zealand, and it wasn't. No one defected from Australia because, in our eyes, obviously the pinnacle is playing for Australia. But what happened, I could see it happening, just the tribal sort of and the amount of Polynesians that was playing. It hits your heartstrings.
Yeah.
It's fucking if you're Polynesian, it brings fucking tears to your eyes.
It's connecting with your culture that
It's
you've never.
Even though you're Australian born or whatever you are, it doesn't matter when you see that shit. Even from I sit there going, fuck.
You don't get that with a Kangaroos jersey.
It's a different sort of pride.
Yeah.
It's a different sort of pride. It's a different sort of pride. And I'm proud to say I've done both. And I'm like, you know what? It's different. You play for Australia, and it's you think in your head, and it is. I think that you reach the pinnacle, and you don't play just for your friends or whatever.
You get to play with a lot of good players.
It's a whole reflection on your whole life. Your first test. I was lucky enough to play 24 tests, and every test meant something. It was a battle. We weren't playing against fucking Scotland or all these tier fucking 6 clubs.
Minnows.
Yeah, but we were playing against England, Great Britain, and New Zealand.
Yeah.
They're tests.
Yeah,
Don't talk to me in 10 years if you played against fucking Scotland and you said you're a test player, because you're not.
Did you have the same sort of
Unbridled.
feeling when you were playing in the country jersey?
Mate, it's a bit different because I'm a Toronto West boy. I was brought up very humbling, but playing for country, it does mean something.
It did a few years back. Playing City Country was an honour.
City Country wasn't a joke. I mean, I think they made a joke of the last sort of 5-6 years. But I remember playing City Country with Andrew Johns, Trent Barrett.
Yeah.
Some of the greatest players. I come off a 3-day bender straight into it. It was fucked. It was massive.
So you were taking it seriously.
I took it so seriously. It was ridiculous. I think, remember, I don't think everyone remembers, 2003, Matt Utai scored. So after 2002 debacle with the Bulldogs, we're only over the cap $7 billion.
Thanks a lot, Kate Climber.
Jesus Christ. We didn't even know about it, you assholes. So 2002, so then the Roosters won. So the whole, the Bulldogs,
Ricky
won,
Sticky
all this
delivered.
sort of shit, whatever, who cares? But so everyone bought into it. So 2003, everyone's like, oh, it's a grand final. This should have been the grand final. Matt Utai scores in the corner. Remember that great try he scored in 2003? It was ridiculous. It was like winning the grand final.
Yeah.
So that was on a Friday night. I didn't come home till Monday morning, and I had to go straight into fucking City Country camp. Went from there. I'm not going to say I drove, but I drove all the way to fucking Gosford, and to come in. I didn't leave my room for 3 days, and then I had to play a City Country game. It was holy shit! It was Joey was there, Trent Barrett, Danny Badiris, just great plays, because that's when you had to actually play for a fucking Origin jersey.
Yeah.
Was that how it was?
Yeah, it was. But then I went through that to obviously privileged enough to, like, if I was already picked in Origin, yet you don't have to play City Country. Or if you play in an Anzac Test, you're not playing City Country because you're already in Origin. All that sort of stuff. So I was blessed enough to be in those teams, but at that time, you didn't guarantee it.
Yeah.
I still got on the team, but they didn't know that until now.
Well, in hindsight, it's great.
That's
it's great yarn.
That's very sugar-coated, that one.
Now, so do you reckon the dream for the Tonga Samoa is opening match for the All Stars?
I think at the moment Tonga's moved on to New Zealand.
Yeah.
Now that they've knocked them off, Samoa was probably just ahead of Tonga the last few years, and now Tonga's taken over. Especially with probably the most damaging forward in the game at the moment, Taumalolo. He's been the face of it.
Is there any merit to the rumours that the Tongan government might be kind of really encouraging this exodus of
Here are some
Australian
house and
players?
land packages. Maybe.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I'll get land. We've got our own kingdom over there, mate.
Yeah.
Taumalolo's a god.
The Fafita Hotel opening next summer.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Taumalolotravels.com.
Yeah, I mean, there's some sort of initiatives happening anyway to get the guys to go back as well. I mean, other than, as you said, kind of, just the connection.
Yeah, well, and a lot of them aren't exposed to it because they grew up in New Zealand or Australia. So once they reconnect, they get that sort of buzz, and they're not getting paid. It obviously means a lot to them.
That's when the ARL or the NRL need to step in and pay these people what they deserve.
Yeah.
Was rugby union ever on the radar for you guys? I mean, there's a long and esteemed history of Islanders in that sport. I mean, even in the Wallabies team that won the 1991 World Cup, there was
Willie Arfangel.
Yeah, he played in that team. And then there's in the 99 there was
Toto Kefu.
Yeah.
So what was that ever offered or on the table for you guys?
I played.
Reni would have been a gun.
No, I played rugby union since I was 5. I played for Chloe Eagles, and I played up until I was about 16 or 17. I had 1 year with Randwick, and then I was sort of at that crossroad. I just enjoyed rugby league more, and I sort of disconnected from rugby union. I used to watch it a lot, and then now I haven't sort of kept my eye on it. I mean, when Sonny was playing, I'd keep an eye on what Sonny was doing, but yeah, I mean, I kind of regret it now with the money they get paid. Yeah, they get paid a lot, and I've got nothing against the sport. I just think rugby league was better suited for me.
Yeah, Australia's NBA.
Yeah. Union. I mean, I switched to Union. No one really knows that.
Did you? I missed that.
Hey, I played 3 tests for the Barbarians. I never played fucking Union in my life. My first test was against England, 90,000 at Twickenham.
We didn't know.
Fucking centre. Starting at centre is a person who's never played any sort of game. Welcome him here. 90,000 people. Fuck, it was hilarious. Finest fucking
William
3 weeks of my life.
Mason.
William. But and then the second test I played against Wales at Millennial Stadium and 85,000.
Sorry,
Yeah.
what
And you-
club were you
2011?
associated with when this was
No
happening?
one. I
Yeah.
fluked my fucking way in there.
So you just put your hand up and said, I'm a
going
rugby
to
union
Union.
player.
So my manager fluked the fuck out of it. So fluked the fuck out of it. Yeah, he got me. He got me the best gig.
That must have been Coda. Coda NASA.
I signed with Toulon. I signed a 3-year deal with Toulon. After I went to Hull KR, I discovered that was the fucking worst place in the world. And
A bit cold in the north.
it was fucking minus 20 when I woke up. I just come
I've
from
been a Hull before.
from fucking
It's fucking
the eastern
grim.
suburbs, rolling around drinking beers at the pub and shit like that. And then I got fucking next minute it's minus fucking 12, 20. Wind chill of minus 50. Training. I'm like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. I'm a built up. I don't mind the fucking cold, but I was like, oh my God, what a shithole. The people were awesome.
Yeah.
Loved them. But the owner was a cockhead. Neil Hudgell, I think his name was, a fucking idiot. But
Let's get those GNTs going.
I would say this with no fucking Gordon's Premium Pink Gin, and soda, Berry's Meat Gin, and soda. But he was a dick. And then my manager got me. He goes, "Can you play Union?"
So you didn't even have to leave
He goes,
England.
"Can you play Union?" I was like, "Not really," but he goes, "I've got you a massive fucking deal at Toulon." Where's Toulon? South of France. Get me the fuck out of here. Sign with them, living on the French Riviera. This is the only reason why I end up playing so long. Who else can play 11, 12 years straight, have an 18 months hiatus in the south of France and not give a shit?
Yeah.
The lifestyle was ridiculous. The games were...
The cheese, the wine, the women. Good times, eh?
Can you speak any
I was
French?
45 fucking kilometres from Saint-Tropez. You been there?
Yeah, once.
You know where that is? You know where that is? You know, Nice and Cannes and Monaco and shit?
Yeah.
It's very flash
It's
down
like
there.
coming from eastern suburbs of Manly. Like, no, I'm going to be from here to fucking Saint-Tropez.
Yeah.
Totally different. Mindset totally different. Not concentrating on fucking anything.
So they locked you in with Toulon and then you just went straight from there to the
no,
Barbarians.
before I played with Toulon,
Oh, right.
I played with the Barbars.
Yeah.
And it was the funnest 3 weeks I've ever had in my life. It's a different level, Union. The money's different. It's corporate.
They got a better rub.
It's a corporate game. And they get protected. I remember going we stayed in Mayfair in London, in a penthouse or whatever. We had the whole building. Walked in, £20,000 cash, straight to you, in an envelope. I thought I was at the Roosters again. But...
Nick.
And then, so like I played like 3 tests, and I thought it was the fucking funnest 3 weeks I've had in my life. Yeah, so like I had some of the greatest players to play. I played with them, like my first sort of test, and like the Barbars thing is a piss up. Non-stop
Golden
drinking,
oldies.
non-stop. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like they go in because the game's actually a bit of a joke.
Yeah.
And they play Barbars football, and it's like they play like really expansive sort of game. And I played at 12, pretty much similar to like a back rower in league. When you play Barbars, I thought it was going to be fucking easy because I actually played really well at them at both levels, and I'm playing against some of the like 2 best fucking nations in the world. And I was like, oh, this is going to be easy. And then Paul Sackey played like 30 tests for England from fucking West London or wherever. He goes, don't fucking think that you're going to go Toulon and fucking run the ball like this. You're never going to get the fucking ball. I was like, what do you mean? He goes, all they do is fucking kick, look for fucking goals, all this sort of shit. And he was right. I went back to Toulon after getting the ball all the time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the Barbars to getting... I think I had 2. I think I touched the ball twice in 3 games. It was a fucking joke. Johnny Wilkinson just used to go over the fucking. As soon as you get over the halfway, look for a penalty so he can kick a fucking goal.
Oh, that's how he won a World Cup.
Can you give me the fucking ball, please? That's what I'm here for.
Off the tap.
I run the ball. Okay, exactly. Can you kick it out? Oh, it's a fucking line out. Oh, my God. Oh, no, pass it to the 10. No, kick it. I'm like, God damn, I hate kick chasing. If you fucking follow my game, I'm the worst kick chase in the world. That was my job, kick chase.
Yeah, right.
That was my job. It was a kick chase, everything. I was like, nah, fucking hate kick chase.
But you get the
Nah.
lifestyle. You got the lifestyle.
Got the lifestyle.
Yeah.
Had the 18 months off. It was a mental thing and it was the impact thing. It was just like, after, 11 years straight in the representative arena for so long. And it takes a toll. Credit to everyone who can just play this game more than 10
George
years.
Smith. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but the impact's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
The impact's different. The way we play, the way I played, the impact is different. So it takes a toll on your body. So like for that 18 months off and then come back in 2012, that's the only reason why I played till 2016. Because I had that 18 months off, sort of rejuvenated everything, made me appreciate the game more, had a few phone calls. It was pretty hard coming back. I was living on the French Riviera, drinking rosé every fucking day, smoking darts, doing whatever. It's not fucking $40 a fucking pack. It's like €4. Just living life,
Yeah.
fucking smashing baguettes every day, and then. And then, just big long baguettes every day, and then just like fucking turning up the train and not even being in the side.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
oh fucking, how good's this?
That
Like being
sounds good.
It was like being a fucking like 30th man, like as a young kid. Like if I was like, oh fuck, I'm not even in the top grade. Fuck it, I was just mucking around.
Did you get much of that in Toronto, Rens? What was it like over there? That was recently.
That was a good experience. I didn't get to play over there. I got
In the
injured.
six.
Yeah, I got injured in the last game.
Even Drizzy was hanging out.
Me in the six, yeah.
Fuck, playoffs on now.
I got injured in the last. I'd been retired for 16 months, and then they called me up to go back and play.
Yeah, right.
I was actually going to come out of retirement for
Yeah.
And I got injured the last game before we flew out to Toronto, and I was going to come home, and then they said, no, come over and be part of the staff. But the city really got behind it. Yeah, they really did they still are. They're really supporting the club well. They don't know the rules. They think it's like baseball. They can turn up at the third innings. Like they start piling in after half time.
Yeah, right.
It's a totally different atmosphere. They've got bands playing. They've got beer tents.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's a good concept, but I think it should do well, especially if they get up to Super League.
Mm-hmm. So you enjoyed it back here? Probably not playing. Oh, you might go down and run with the cops at Coogee.
No more. I was going to have a run with the local boys, but no, I'd had enough. I shouldn't have went back and played last year. You know, as soon as I ran on the field, I thought, what am I doing here? And I was actually grateful that I got injured, to be honest. You know, did my ankle. I think I had 3 comebacks, you know, so I couldn't do any more comeback tours. And then
John Farnham.
Johnny Farnham.
Reni Farnham.
It's the last time. That's what someone said to me on Twitter.
That's my last comeback.
This one's for the ATO.
That's what the
This one's for you, Toronto.
It's too far from home.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
I had to settle back here and find my next sort of opportunity in life and what I'm going to do long term.
Hanging doors. Is that what you're doing right now?
Yeah, cabinet making. Yeah. So hanging up people's kitchens and
beauty.
stuff like that. And it's, you know, it's rewarding and a bit
Just
of fun.
making dreams come true.
That's it.
Now, just lastly, lads, who do you support in the footy? Because you're both journeymen, as we pointed out. Not necessarily the club you played for first, is it? Or is it Bulldogs or what?
Or is it your home?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I still support the Dogs. So obviously they're going through a bit of a rough patch at the moment, but I've always, I'll have a soft spot for them. You know, for a lot of history there, a lot of memories, and obviously they probably were the reason why I had a little bit of success in my career. But now I tend to watch South. So I don't have a choice. John Sutton's like a little brother to me, and obviously the majority of Maroubra go for South. So yeah, that's the 2 teams I keep an eye on. You know.
Newcastle?
Yeah, I think we're similar. I have a soft spot for the Bulldogs, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't like how they play or anything like that. It doesn't represent anything what we built or what that club's about. But I'm not going to bag the club. They're just going through a rebuilding stage, and that's what frustrates me. That club never goes through rebuilding stages.
Not like Canberra.
No, you don't go through like a Titans rebuilding stage for 20 years. You know, like
Or the Dragons.
The building stage.
you might have
We're building.
We're trying to build. Like that club is built. You know what I mean? That's what's frustrating. It's like just fucking win.
Yeah.
And I know and the people around it, they want to win now.
Yeah.
But just look at it and don't have the team to win. It's the cattle that they got. They just don't have the players. And a lot of teams are stacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Melbourne's got the great
fucking
culture.
Roosters?
Yeah, the stacked Roosters. The Roosters are stacked. Souths are stacked.
It's only a matter of time.
So on their best day, the Bulldogs.
It might be this interview that we revealed the inside.
So just say South and the Roosters. They're built like so. The Bulldogs could play their best game. Everyone can have a 10 out of 10, and then the Roosters a couple of players might have like a 6, 8, maybe 9, and they'll still win.
Yeah.
That's the difference because they don't have the cattle and they don't have the players. It's just not happening.
They need an Uncle Nick.
Yeah, they
need the fucking Lebanese mafia back there.
What cars were you driving out there, boys?
Oh, mate, I had a fucking Hummer.
Of course you did. Fuck me.
With the serial number carved off the engine.
I didn't pay for it. It was a fucking.
Didn't pay for a meal out there.
But yeah. I go for players, my mates. Like I like South because I'm good mates with Gags, Burgess boys, Sutto. A few of them guys.
Yep.
Roosters still friendly.
So you really are still a journeyman.
Newcastle
support.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really care until them guys retire.
Yeah.
All the
pick a
guys
side.
that I played with or against. It's gonna be about another 5 years, and then I can sort of pick a team. But I don't think I can. I don't think I can pick a team. I sort of just go for the game.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm all about the game. I love the game at the moment. It's played at a fucking brutal capacity at the moment.
It was very fast last night.
Yeah, it is
The first
ridiculous.
2 stoppages and plays last night were tries.
yeah.
Yeah, and you bet the boys in the middle was going, thank fuck he scored. For like a fucking 3 minutes, you get a rest.
You can't smoke durries anymore.
Nah. Cliffy Lyons can't do anything.
No. Or Thido. He was the last great Durry muncher, I think.
Yeah, he loved them.
Yeah, he loved him.
There's a couple
Now he's
out
a
there.
stand-up comedian. So.
Yeah.
He's a worse, isn't he?
No comment. Really.
How bad is he? I fucking cringe when he's on the TV. Fuck.
Anyway, thanks for coming in, gentlemen. It's been great. We've been trying to line this one up for a while. Enjoy your flight to your respective south-east Sydney suburbs. And
Go straight to the pub.
We'll catch you next time.
catch you next time.
Thanks, boys. Thanks for having us. Cheers.
guys.